Alright, I just got some new parts from glockparts.com. I also got some flits from Amazon, but won't be using that today. Today we're going to install another Ghost 3.5 trigger in my Glock 22. I had one in there before, took it out, gave it to my buddy, and he liked it in his gun so much I let him keep it, and then he just paid me to get another one. So I'll be putting this one in. It's a little different. It's the ultimate trigger. It's got the holes in there that prevent debris from getting piled up, so we'll see if that works better than what I had in there before. I'll also be reinstalling the 4-pound firing pin spring, and I had this before. It's my stainless steel guide or a recoil spring rod, and I got a 15-pound spring to replace the standard 17-pound spring. So as you can see, it's got red coloring right there. It's kind of hard to see, but that lets you know it's 15-pound, and it's for a full-size gun. And something else I'll be putting in is the trigger spring. This is a competition trigger spring. It's supposed to lower the pull by 0.5 pounds. So with these three things, it'll take you down to about a 3-pound trigger pull, theoretically. I don't have a push-pull gauge, so I'm not going to know if it's actually going to be that low or not. So, anyways, gun, no magazine, safe, blah blah blah. Alright, so first thing you're going to do is take out the trigger assembly. So you'll be taking off the slide, taking off these two pins and this pin inside of here. And once I get that done, I'll come back. Alright, now I have these pins out, and their sizes are different, so there's no way you can mess them up. They came out pretty easy this time. Sometimes they're hard to get out, so I stopped the video. Alright, once you got those out, then you can pull this slide lock. Just put it to the side. This block right here, this comes out. Usually you got to get in there and kind of wedge it upwards. There she goes. That comes out. Set that to the side. And now you grab this extractor, and up comes the trigger assembly. You put this off to the side there. Alright, and here's the connector we'll be replacing, so you just kind of cant this off to the side. And since we're taking out this trigger spring right there, we're just gonna, let's see how that goes in there. Okie dokie. That comes off of that. Take this spring and take it off of here. I'm going to stop the camera for a second. Alright, that was kind of a pain in the ass, so stop the video for a minute, but this is the old spring. I just tucked it out and pulled it around here and then put the new one in. And I made sure I checked it out and made sure I put it in the exact same way, although I don't think it matters because it goes in the same. Alright, now the trigger spring has been replaced, and you can notice kind of a difference in the size of it. Not too much, but there is a slight difference there. The camera will focus in, which of course it won't. Okay, now for the connector. Connector is this piece right here. To get it out, just turn this block around and push in here. And there's the old connector. It comes right out. We'll put that off to the side. Pull out our new super cool ghost connector. And I got all these parts at glockparts.com. Found it's cheaper than Glockmeister by significant difference. And shipping, it was really cheap. It was like $3 to ship all the stuff I got. And I also got some targets too. So they're really reasonable. Alright, put in the new connector. Let's push that down. Okie dokie. And you grab the cat. She's being a real bitch today. You throw her. There we go. I got the cat thing figured out. Alright, now you take this part, reconnect the trigger spring right in there. You cant that to the side. This can be a pain sometimes. I've had different luck putting it in. There we go. And there we go. It sets like that. There we go. And you try and hold it together there. And you stick her back in. Get the trigger. I think that's in there almost. Okay. Now that's in there, we'll go ahead and put the pins back in. When you're putting this back together, I want to point out something that was confusing to me the first time I did this. When you put this slide lock back in, it's got a spring right there. I can get it from this angle. See that little spring? This thing has got to be down when you put your pin in. Because if you're trying to put the pin in and it's up like this, it's gonna hit against this and it's not gonna work. Just make sure you push this down as you're pushing the pin in, so you can get it to fit, and your pin will go in there right. Alright, next we're going to be putting in this firing pin spring. Firing pin spring goes on a firing pin, of course. So in order to put that on, you need a couple tools here. You take this little plastic thing, push it down with whatever tool you got, and take a flathead screwdriver, stick it on here to pull that plate off. Try and see if we can do this with everything being in frame. Push that down to take the pressure off. The plate comes off nice and loose. The extractor plug will come up, and you kind of ease that off. And there you go. So now you got firing pin, and we're not going to worry about taking that out of there. Now this is the firing pin, this is the other spring right there. You just take that, and I usually like to get a piece of cloth. I've done this a couple times before. And you pull down on this, and this is like 2 cups put together. And I'll show you what happens. Pull that down, take these 2 half cups out, and the spring comes back at you pretty quick. And you put the new spring on, kind of lift this thing up a little. It goes on just like so. Pull it down, put the half cups on there. This is pretty heavy. Alright. That went pretty smooth right there. And wipe off all your fingerprints. And you stick it back in. It's like just the same way it went in, pretty much. Get your tool. Keep the pressure on that. Get your slide back in there. Push that extractor plug down. All the way. Bingo. And that should move freely once you push the firing pin block. Okay. Now that's done. We'll take this thing, pull the screw off, install our 15-pound recoil spring. Push that all the way down. Put the screw on pretty fast because it's really hurting my fingers. I'll use this. Come on, bitch. Attaboy. Alright. That's on there. Barrel on. Put this thing on. Okay. Now you attach. That's not going to work. Wow. That's even lighter than it was before. So, that's how you make your gun a more efficient little machine. Make sure you check for functionality, make sure everything works. Yeah. So, let me know what you think. And I highly recommend all these parts because, especially for shooting and whatnot, it makes it a lot easier to hit what you're hitting. For shizzle.